We meet again. We meet again at this sacred conversation. My name is Mandula. Welcome. Just welcome to the space. And if we can just open up the space to just feel that warmth. I want you to imagine right now I am sitting on the couch, and I want you to imagine as if there's a whole lot of us and we're sitting in a circle and we're just having this conversation together. And these sacred conversations become memories, become stories that you get to share. These stories allow you to grow, to help with your transformation. In the work that I do, I'm simply here to help you bridge the gap, the longest journey between the head and the heart space. I use full intention. I use prayer. I use breath. So that whoever is here in this circle, in this sacred conversation right now, that you open up the eye of understanding what I'm about to share. Receiving messages constantly today, just receiving such beautiful messages. So I thank you for the resonance of you landing onto this post. Grab your snacks, grab some soup. I just had to gulp down some soup. It was so good. It was so good. And then I could begin. But grab your snacks and let's just have a conversation. Really, we're just here to open up about different truths about what is this life thing that we are doing, right? You ask everybody and everybody just doesn't fully know. And that's also okay. That's also really, really okay. So I'm going to start off by reading a poem. Because sometimes words have so many meanings, and poetry allows you to tap into heart medicine, where all these conversations are, just moving from love and connection and being in circle and allowing this moment to exist. Thank you for your presence. Okay. So this poem, let me just clear my voice there. Okay. You cannot hear when spoken to, when they're in Rome and you're in Timbuktu. Signal reception, not the same. Disconnected, no one to blame. You cannot hear when spoken to. Loud music in the car as you pass through different lanes. And unless you decide and agree to meet at point A or B, you cannot hear when spoken to. So this poem came about through a disconnection of communication. And we're going to dive into that a little bit deeper. In this poem, I want you to allow yourself to be taken on a journey of whatever your perception is supposed to be. There is no right and wrong. It just is. And you get to make use of it. So personalize it for you. Grow from it. Question it. Is this true for me? And And I want to add, there was one time I was walking with a friend, and I ask him, and I say, how do you know what you want? And in the most clearest form, he just goes, when you want it. So if you want to receive this information when you are ready to fully receive what it is about to do in your life, this ignition, reigniting that deep awareness within yourself that you already know. And I'm getting, you have transformed, you're at a stage in your life where you have transformed yourself. Okay? You have transformed yourself in a way that the way in which you used to communicate and the way in which people have tried to communicate with you is disconnected. Spirit is showing you that you can no longer operate from the external. There is now a huge draw into the internal world, into the divine feminine energy. When we go into divine feminine energy, we tap into darkness, right? Not evil, the dark, because your eyes are closed. You have no stimulation that you can perceive or whatever is projected at you, right? And going in the dark is silence. So in that silence is it can be taken into working in the dark at night as well. When you do ceremonial work, tuning into that dark, the full moon energy too, tapping into deeper dark, has such important work too, that it is drawing you so deep within that space that the only thing you can project is light. Do you understand? What you are seeing around you, you are so unrecognizable. People cannot find you. So there is a disconnection of communication. You sometimes perceive that as lack of love, versus you are unrecognizable, untraceable. If there was I'm getting this image, like, when someone goes to jail or when someone is in house arrest and they have that tag on their ankle. I'm getting, you have decoded or broken that tracer or tracker. So where you are found on the last location, where you were found in different last locations, the possible locations that you could be found, they can no longer find you there. To understand how disturbing that is, that's why it goes, you cannot hear when spoken to when they're in Rome and you're in Timbuktu. Signal reception, not the same. Disconnected, no one to blame, because you are exactly where you are supposed to be right now. I'll repeat that. You are exactly where you are supposed to be right now, listening to this message, deeply understanding what is being said. Hearing it from the heart, feeling it from the heart. That you have done so much work that you have become untraceable. And because your worlds are colliding and they're shifting into the two, so they're merging into, I love the yin and the yang, because those are two fish allowing the circle to flow. The energy must continue. I remember someone from my past life telling me, remember, life is in movement. I've never forgotten that. Life is in movement. Life is in movement. As I breathe in, I breathe out. As I take one step forward, I take another step forward. Life is in constant movement, and the isness about it is being completely unattached. And I love, one of my favorite verses is, be not of the world, but be a part of the world. Be not of the world, be part of the world. Be part of the experiences. Don't attach to those experiences. Be not of the world, be part. Don't let that which you felt connected to be your form of escape or attachment to you thinking you can never give that to yourself. So as your worlds are colliding, there is a merging happening within the yin and the yang that are allowing you to not perceive anything as good or bad, but just is. Because what has come from the dark space, and dark space, like I said, the divine feminine energy, it's the internal world, now comes to light in the masculine. Okay, so that becomes the projection, the brain. Are you speaking from your mom's perspective? Are you speaking from your partner's perspective? Are you speaking from your heart's perspective? Where are you communicating from? And to whom do I speak when I do? You cannot hear when spoken to. So right now, you are in a situation where whatever you are signaling and whatever is signaling back to you are not in alignment. Hence why that section where it said, when they're in Rome and you're in Timbuktu, you know, you cannot hear when spoken to. It's almost like you are or have been with someone who you thought you spoke the same language. You thought you spoke the same language, but you don't. So, and this could be any sort of relationship. You are speaking, but you are in different, like it says here, loud music in the car, with loud music. So if someone's passing you or you with them, but they're trying to speak, imagine if, imagine as if you are with someone in the car and there's this loud music. You know what happens when you try to speak? They can't hear you. They want to speak. That means that the music needs to be turned down. You want to listen to music. So that means the music must be turned up. Do you know what I mean? As you pass through different lanes. So that person wants silence and to communicate. You want music. Now, as you're passing through different lanes, and unless you decide and agree to meet at point A or B, you cannot hear when being spoken to. Okay, so this could be possible if you are in two separate cars or you are in one car. So you can take it how it fits for you. Right. But unless you are in agreement, you're either going to be, one is going to be in Rome or one is going to be in Timbuktu. Because how often have you spoken something and agreed with someone and they understood you by the time it comes full circle through the conversation, and how they have sat with it a little bit, allowed it to marinate, and then the next conversation that strikes the remembrance of what was said yesterday, it's because you weren't on the same page. One is in Rome, one is in Timbuktu. But you could physically be here. But in your idealization of what and where you are going, you realize one either wanted to go to Rome or thought that we were all agreeing we're going to Rome, or the other way around, or just as one is speaking and saying, this is what I hope for my life and this is what I hope for my life. You hoping for it in Timbuktu, and then the one is hoping for it in Rome. So you have to be in agreement. Are we in Rome? Do we understand? Or are we there? And it leads to, you can never hear it enough to be reminded, be intentional. As you are transforming on this journey and your two worlds are colliding and they're merging into full oneness, so that when you see abundance, you see abundance as it is. As you see love for what it is. As you see your value you see your value for what it is. But that's now you having to go work in the dark. That's that scary place people think it is when you're going into meditation. You go into the dark space, which unfortunately has negative connotation in the way in which we have been socialized. So if you can reframe your mind through this conversation and just understanding that be intentional with what you are seeking out in terms of information. Be intentional. Specifically now, it has to be so on point because of where you are going in the way in which you're going to find that full oneness and understand how it needs to move and operate in your life. You have to go even more in, and I'm getting this like that bow and arrow, where it's like to hit that nail on the head. It's almost like you have to become so laser focused and go even deeper than you think you can. The other day I was just breathing in and I realized there is so much more breath on the inhalation that we do not fully take. And I've just been mesmerized by the breath. To fully inhale the divine. To fully connect to the heart. I just have my hand on my heart and I love to just like rub my chest, just feel the love in this moment of if you are still here, what a beautiful time to be alive. What a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful time to be alive. Go into the dark. Close the eyes. Get into deep states of meditation. I encourage you so much to allow the busyness of the mind to be revealed to yourself. Allow the truth to be revealed as to who you are versus who you say you are. Right now, you are in such a deep pull inwards with this divine conversation that everything that has currently happened in your life, you have been extremely protected. Extremely protected. You are extremely protected. protect your heart. Because that is the seat of the soul, the seat of the soul, where God resides. And this section of the poem too, where it begins and where it ends, you cannot hear when spoken to. If you are afraid of the dark where God connects, you won't hear. You won't hear what you need to do next fully. Because what you're going to do is project what you need to do fully. That's what I'm saying. Where you are so protected. Like, you are so protected. I just want you to understand how protected you are. That any levels of naivety where you were not listening to the messages of God within, you were protected regardless. You are so protected. My goodness. So I just want to move into gratitude. Just the gratitude to be able to have this beautiful moment, to be sitting on my couch, this green couch, this pale green couch that I've been sitting on for 4 years. I get to sit here and reflect the journey. I get to connect to your heart. I know I'm connecting to you. I know you are a seeker. I know you have gifts. And I know you need support. And even if you ask for support, you're not getting that full support that you need. Someone who's going to help you guard your heart. Someone who's going to help you shorten the distance between the head and the heart. But it's going to come with some hard truths. It's going to come with some discomfort. I'm going to teach you how to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. You gotta learn to be comfortable with discomfort. Promise you, in the work that I do, the more I lean in to that discomfort, the more I realize how much of a friend I have. Do you understand? That thing which I cannot see ahead of me, that discomfort is calling me in to be by my side, so that whilst I might be distracted by the lack, I can see the abundance because I'm here working on myself. I'm leaning into the discomfort. Because then when I lean into the discomfort, I transform. When I transform, it's just a world of possibilities. Hence why you are here. It's either you are ready for transformation, or you have transformed and you have become unrecognizable. I just want to say well done. Well done for either just landing on this page and wherever you are in your journey, you're here. No one really, really warns you about like spiritual work and the deep inner work. Oh my goodness, it's real. Of course, there can be like unicorns, dumping on rainbows and like looking all cute and pretty. But you have to go through the mud. There's also that, you know, you have to become friends with discomfort. So I'll circle back to gratitude again because it's such a beautiful path to be on, to be able to, in this day and age, be able to access so many hearts without needing to physically touch you or be in your presence, at least for now. And then creating that possibility that one day we can meet, right? And we get to share stories of how we've impacted each other's lives just by being here, listening in, also giving me the courage to be able to share. This is a fairly new channel. And, you're trying things because that mental circle and cycle of, oh, if I don't, oh, if I do, people still going to talk. People are still either going to be happy. People are either still going to be sad because it's not about you. It's just the state of their being. It's never been about that. It's just always been about them reflecting the state of their being. So gratitude that we can become clearer mirrors, bringing back respect and order to the divine. Really bringing back respect and self-love. Let's take some breathing. I just feel like you need to just breathe and just absorb this deep medicine. What a joy to be able to share. What a joy. I'm so grateful that I could get to this place. I am so grateful that this could reach you at the right time, at the right place. I am so grateful for technology in this moment. I am grateful for the medicine that I get to share. I am grateful for your wisdom and your intuition that you're going to take this medicine and make it your own and then share it. I'm so grateful that we get to impact, we get to have global impact. What a time to be alive, guys. We get to have global impact. Do you understand that? We have the opportunities our ancestors have allowed us to have. Look at all that you have. It came from someone's hard work. It came from someone's love and pain. And in your story lies their story. What a beautiful time to be alive. I hope I have reminded you to, as one old friend said to me, just stay in your lane. Wise advice. One of the wisest advices I've received. Despite his anger with me at the time, just wise advice. Start to thank people more. We are all teachers for one another, which means that we are all students to each other. There's not one day, not absolutely one day, that my life doesn't change because of someone who might be the most random person on the street. But because of what they came to teach me, I was a student. I listened and I learned. Learn to be grateful. Just fire, become on fire with the energy of gratitude. Become so grateful for where you are, because it's further than where you were yesterday. And pray to have that support within yourself. Just have that support within yourself. When I move into the role of yoga teacher, there's a frame within the shape that allows your mind to feel safe within that space, or at least safer. And within that shape, you mold yourself into it, into safety. So you mold yourself into your body by overcoming any any feelings of discomfort with the stretch and the strength that you are building and that is required on your part. So you got to feel into that space where you feel held. Get to that level where you start feeling held and you are holding yourself. I promise you, it is the most delicious things you can do for yourself. Is, if you don't attend mine, I will be doing some online. If you don't in person, at least try a class somewhere. Allow yourself to go into the dark, so that in this period of transformation and not becoming as recognizable as you were before, you can move from that space of oneness. Can we seal this conversation? What a gift. What a gift to share. Thank you. Thank you for receiving. Thank you for moving forward and allowing this to reignite the remembrance, that fire within yourself, that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. And that this ignites a movement where we bring back respect and order to the divine. The way in which the planet was created from that idea, that we bring it back to order and we move from love again. We breathe with love. So that part where it says, love your neighbor as you love yourself, You're not loving from a projected space. You're loving from, I hold myself and I feel held. It's one of the most delicious it's like an internal massage. It's one of the most delicious experiences you can gift yourself as a yoga practice or a breath practice or meditation. Just take a full breath in just to acknowledge what you heard, what you felt. And followed by a deep exhalation. Meet the breath at the top, inhale. Meet the breath at the bottom, exhale. Thank you for listening. And I look forward to sharing more. I plan to have a schedule of these sacred conversations at least twice a week. So the last one I think I posted was Thursday and Sunday for sacred conversations, and then Friday and Monday for meditations. And I'm still thinking about yoga, like how to add that in. But with time, we're just gonna, my intention here once again is to support, to help you understand that you're not alone, to bring divine messages, to channel the downloads that I receive from a loving space, from an honest space, because we're here to bring order and respect back to the divine. And I take great pride in being able to be a participant, to be able to share. I really, really do. So this is a joy for me. I hope it has been a joy for you. If you've listened this far, thank you. Just listen to it over and over again. Use it as a meditation. I'm sending so much love, and that something in you has woken up from this conversation. And you're just like, yeah, I need to invest in myself. If there's anything that you just start doing, please invest in your heart, invest in yourself. Sometimes, unfortunately, we have to separate these things, but they're all one. Invest in yourself. We are in an age of a lot of technology which is becoming very repetitive. So you're just seeing patterns on patterns on patterns. It's the same thing. And life is just like, it's like this very interesting computer game. You come in bringing your experience. You invest in yourself so much that AI can't give the experience that you give. It can't. It can't. So those who invest in themselves are going to really reap the rewards. So kudos to you on your journey. If you've just started, keep going, please. We all have to start somewhere. Okay, sending so much love. I didn't know I was going to speak this long, but it felt very fluid to be here in connection. Yeah. Okay, so I'll be sharing Thursdays and Sundays for these sacred conversations, and I might just add more. Let's just see how this goes. Yeah, take care.